Welcome back, everybody, to the Beginner Bootcamp 2. In our final bracket, we have a top 16 matchup between Dot Dot and Fish. I am Moko, joined by the trooper who pushed through the last match by himself, Tippy.
Yeah.
And we'll bring up the bracket just to see what happens here. So Dot Dot and Fish on the Stick is in our top right of our bracket that we're seeing right now. And the winner of this will play the winner of the match. Arguably, what is a fourth repeat match of Timbo and Dex's, I think. Or might be their third match, but
Yeah, something like that.
we might get some deja vu lined up. Yeah, we might as so we have an objectives race between Dot Dot and Fish. We can probably have a quick look at the objectives whilst we let the runners go. We can see from the top row we have some relatively straightforward objectives. We have the ferries in the top of Twilight Town 1. We have the Mountain Village Cave in LOD. Then we have Thresholder, Cerberus, and then a couple Port Royal objectives into Halloween Town 2 with the three little kids. We have Hyenas 2. We have Spooky Cave, and then 3 ASs.
Mm-hmm.
Not one, not two, 3. So there's going to be some relatively deeper pushes potentially that we will need to do. But it looks like Dot Dot's on their way already, utilizing the crit availability of the Pride Lands start that they got in their starting inventory. It is to be extremely noted that there is an RNG manipulation that is set at the beginning of every seed, and is making use of it to get the guaranteed reaction command off rip. But early on, still no important checks off levels, but we did get a master form in the first room of Pride Lands. Haven't really had much of an opportunity yet to even look at what we started with. We've got a once more given off of Pride Lands already, with a useful accessory found in Beast Castle. But just to talk about our opening unlocks, we have 2 of the Proud Fang, opening up all of Pride Lands 2. We have 1 Olympus Coliseum unlock, 1 Space Paranoids unlock, 1 Hollow Bastion unlock, 1 Twilight Town unlock, and 1 Beast Castle unlock that we're utilizing right now on Fish's side. So with what we've been given, Tippy, we probably would utilize some of our shotguns. Where would you break out shotguns if you were in the racer's shoes with this opening?
I mean, with this, I'm pretty much just gonna shotgun everything. Even going through the first part of TT 1, because you got the objective there too. So I'd probably just go ahead and death abuse up through TT Tower, just get that stuff out of the way, because you know, crit, so you can die a little bit quicker. Yeah, probably push that all the way through whenever I decided to go through that, but definitely looking to try to clean out some of the shotguns and stuff and try to get some tools. I think having that screens access like right now kind of put a little bit more of an incentive to kind of like try to find like an explosion, some magnets, maybe stitch and stuff like that, try to get some XP out of screens and like try to make like the rest of the seed a little bit easier, especially seeing 3 ASs on the board, and it's like, I mean, you don't need too many stats for Book Boy and Larks, but if you're thinking about going for that Marley push, the stats might be a little bit more important. You never know what the seed might give you.
Well, what we do know from what the seed's given them, it's not a lot of unlocks, but 2 pages so far in the just opening of Prylands, which is 2 to go until we can reach that spooky cave objective. So that's probably an additional thing to think about. We do see Fish is more or less just utilizing a ABN style, and that's all blue numbers. Just going around the Garden of Assemblage through the anti-clockwise direction, doing all their shotguns in that manner.
Mm-hmm.
We might not see the death abuse. We'll see from Fish, but I do think that's a pretty intelligent idea, especially given Dot's information so far. Using Master Form and Fire would be plenty probably to go through Twilight Town 1 outside of the death abuse.
Yeah.
You could even use Master Form to get Goofy away so that you can die faster. Like,
Get that parry guy out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like this going into TT. And I wouldn't be surprised if I seen either or play here. Like if you left or if you just kept pushing. I mean, I think typically the way that the OBJs get played is like you got an OBJ, go do the OBJ.
Mm-hmm. I do agree. I do tend to agree anyway. That's very often it's expected of you to just clear through the content provided to you in front of you. But we do see Fish does divert away post the actual shotgun. Understandable, especially they don't have the Master Form that's in the opening of Prylands. So isn't incentivized yet to check for, say, Light and Darkness, where Dot might. Or they might just, like you mentioned, just sacrifice the station fight just for, one, the progression point, but also just further checks that we can easily access. Nope. Looks like both of them have chosen to not do that. And got into Space Paradise instead.
And a magnet. So yeah, I'm going to screens GG's.
Very early screens and 13 magic.
I'm hitting the rest of these shotguns and then I'm like, yep, GG screens. Let's go. I'll take my stats. I got a Stitch. Pray you get a PR, I guess, but I don't know.
I think me personally, I would just be wanting to at least get through, if I was in Dot's shoes, go through those pages, see whether or not you pick up Light and Darkness first. Gives us an additional incentive.
Yeah.
Push through Twilight Town.
And the funny page on the page.
Yeah, exactly, right? So we do have Spooky Cave as an objective. So if we can get closer to that objective, it's an easy objective to get off the table.
Yeah. I guess considering the ASs that's on the board, I don't know. Like Marley, I guess it's like the
sacrificed immediately after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's yeah. I mean, it is like a. I mean, the game did just throw 2 pages at you too, so you just like, we'll see what happened here on the side of Dot. Like more than likely, they'll push these 2 pages. These 2 pages will give them a hint, so it is kind of worthwhile.
Yeah, that's a totally fair reasoning. Getting the first hint relatively quickly is a play that we have seen from various host of our races do. Getting some informative information about where some of our unlocks towards our objectives could be, or like you mentioned, the Port Royal at the very least, just to get some quick early experience might be helpful. Notice that we picked up a Thunder Boost on on their side, but without the thunder, so that's a bit unfortunate.
Nah, Fish got a thunder out of BC.
BC, right? Yeah.
Mhm. So yeah, that's why it's like, yeah,
Definitely.
you could pray for like a PR and do
Mhm.
that before the screens.
Yeah.
But the stat still is creeping up right now. Like, you had level 6 on Fish side at 21 magic. Like, I don't know.
That's pretty good with Thunder Boost, right?
Mm-hmm.
Decent enough.
Mm-hmm.
You have Stitch to try and like mostly protect you on screens. It seems decent. Even and we do get a collide for dot dot quickly shotgunning and checking the remainder of the pages. I do think it's a little unfortunate that Fish didn't try to throw in potential extra ether to utilize a bit more of their magic stat. That's significantly better than their strength, but yeah, like you were alluding to, Dot Dot's coming up to our first hint of the seed. I guess the question here is, what do we want to see the hint towards? Considering we've seen both races, maybe Twilight Town.
Me. Considering what you got, I would probably want. Not that, but that is helpful, I guess.
Yeah,
I guess it's helpful, but yeah, I might have wanted to see.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm happy to see that one. For Pride Lands, it tells us that all the items in our shotgun were all the items we're gonna get in terms of important checks, at the very least.
Yeah.
But it does tell us at least we can hold off on the hyenas to push until we have the tools we want to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
There is that at the very least. It's not cruel and holding 3 reflects. It's that at the very least. And I think that's our first negative combo we've seen.
Mm-hmm. That one on level 7 it is, I think.
Unfortunately, Fish didn't turn the idiots off, so making this death abuse a little too difficult. So instead, going for the hit count.
Yeah.
It is noted that on crit it is way easier to death abuse the Twilight Town fight, but you can elect to just choose not to take that path.
Got Dot following up behind on the Bailey fight here. Yeah. I do like this on the side of Fish too. Because if you just full push this too, you get your 2 PP and you get your next hint and you get your OBJ. Kind of like, and a second Thunder, so screens.
You're cheering. You're cheering. Well, yeah, I mean.
Wait, they got double magnet too. Yeah, screens. Go.
Yeah, Magnera, Thundara, like these are great tools for screens, despite not having the XP boost. I think you just making quick use of it, trying to get into mid-game stats, and then hopefully picking up XP through the rest of the seed.
Yeah.
Maybe get you there. For final fights, it's probably not the worst idea.
Because at that point, you can just put Larxene kinda on the board because you push through screens, you set up HP. You have like the stats to do her and Book Boy, which you both have the first visits to. You gonna probably go through OC to do Cerberus anyway. Like maybe you trying to cut out doing Marley. You could potentially cut out Halloween Town and those be like your 2 skips for the seed. But
maybe.
I don't know.
I think we still have to wait a little bit on the items to tell us what we can actually afford to skip. But
yeah,
I guess with these tools, if I was in Fish's point of view from this exact situation, you know me, and quite a bit of the chat knows me, but I would probably be inclined towards pushing um, Thresholder into Olympus Coliseum. That's probably what I would be looking at here.
Mm-hmm.
Fish gets the information towards Pride Lands, and likely was going there anyway, so he's going to pick up all the goodies here in Pride Lands. Uh,
Welcome, welcome.
Meanwhile,
Yep.
Dot Dot is knocking on the door of Thresholder. See what they choose to utilize here. If they try to be sneaky and level Master Form potentially.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yep, there it is. Gotta be careful here, though. I'm pretty sure that
these
was the
guys,
once more.
but it is notable that not just the Shadow Possessor gives you Drive Orbs, but the Gargoyles also give it to you. So if you wanted to, you could have tried to make use of both. And unfortunately, the Gargoyles just not cooperating and just throws their axe right into Dot Dot's face. So likely going for a quicker death now on Mickey. Or as you might like to call it, freeze storm.
Freeze storm, baby.
And looks like, yeah, just a little bit of struggle to get there, but looks like we're almost at that. Taking enough damage to bring back Sora.
But this is scary because in that punching animation, you can easily die if you're not careful. Like dying where they died at is a very sketchy spot to die in. I had death loop there before, trying to use the Mickey to get out.
Yeah. Definitely prone to getting frame trapped there. So, got a tad fortunate, but did make it through that Thresholder fight, and gets a
3.
Yeah, to complement their glide tree. So getting a little bit of an aerial movement difference right now.
Yeah, seeing them trying to make the decision on whether or not to push up the beast in objectives does not give a proc point. So you do all of this for just the checks, and you kind of gotta hope for some good. It looked like a world unlocked up there though. It is, and it's the SP unlock for Lark scene. Man. So yeah. Yeah. You do this, you do OC, you do screens, and yeah, that's kind of the seed.
Trying to see whether or not SP just gives us something to either divert our attention a bit, maybe go to Port Royal or Halloween Town, get some additional stats, maybe. But likely that Dot's just probably going to divert after this, unless they want to do the Darkthorn fight for the one progression point for the next
10. Yeah, trying to do air combos on Beast after the RC would have been better off using the Thunder the whole time, having a little high on that magic stat, being able to chuck off a little bit more Beast. Got Fish following up behind Dot Dot and 100 Acre doing the Honey Slider, and Dot Dot going to finish TT. We'll pick up this Standara. Still in like a decent range too on defense to kind of make this a little fast. If they choose to do the death abuse, it's not gonna be perfect, but still in a solid spot. Needed to get them slaps there.
Yeah. The multi-hits from the slaps do speed up this process a tad, but as you can see, a much faster death of use than on beginner. So there is that benefit.
Yep, that's with
Are
7
you a
defense.
Are you a left or a right side checker first?
In the station?
We saw a difference here. Yeah, in the station.
Yeah, I go
Well, down.
left. I go left.
Yeah. We just saw the difference between Dot Dot and Fish in this race where they chose differently. So figured I'd
Mm-hmm.
ask the question.
Mm-hmm.
We do get a hint for Agrabah, which it's certainly a hint. Just providing intel towards Valiform. Not much else. So Agrabah doesn't really provide a huge amount of information on its own. But obviously Valiform can give us some checks on our forms, which might be what we need. But for
Mm-hmm.
now, since we don't even have access, just something to put on the back burner.
Yep. Having that Magnera here, making it pretty easy to get through these tower fights in TT. We'll see how. Yep, going in
Fish
master
handles the threshold a bit.
form. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Sitting at 32 magic in master form is insane right now.
Mm-hmm.
How much drive do you have? You got 5. So I said maybe
5.
you start at master form and then you go into Stitch after. Like what? That is crazy.
So the difference we see there is that
This is
Fish
kind of scary.
actually, yeah. You can see that Fish actually decided to make use of the gargoyles to get to level 2 on Master, as a bit of a minor difference. And there's Dot Dot going into the Olympus Coliseum push with that Magnera, and Thundara likely given good enough tools. It's not the greatest, admittedly, but that Magnera into a fire can do good work in these waves, and then we make do with what we have for Cerberus.
Got that Thundara. I think Dot has the Thunder Boost as well too. Probably they do a little bit of accessory change and then look at stat boosts and stuff like that. Could probably get into the 20s and get a little bit more damage on the Surd fight, but yeah, definitely need to be utilizing that magic a lot more than the strength.
Yeah. You can see how spooky this Hades escape is.
Yeah, you gotta do something about this. Ooh.
Yeah.
Orin.
Looks like Orin and probably good. Oh, out of ethers too.
Oh,
so this is going to be a little sketchy.
I don't think he was even doing enough damage to kill everything after this one Bushido. The Lancer's just probably still alive here.
Yeah. I think unironically, when you Bushido in the 3rd wave, I'm more concerned about the fact that the shadows aren't dead and Hades is around to pester you. Because very often the Lancers will give you a Lance Tug to manipulate. But the shadows are annoying, and what's worse is they can lead Hades into just throwing a fireball at you and just killing you. And we can see Dot playing it very safe, having no ethers left. Wanted to come back with some magic, likely with Orin too. So is utilizing quite a bit of time to not put too much risk involved. Orin's waking up, going straight back into Bushido once more, and
Fish on the other side.
All those efforts. Goes through.
Fish on the other side finishing up Shadow Stalker there, taking advantage of the thunder. I like to see that,
Mhm.
especially on Shadow Stalker. Easy kill. Doesn't have MP to go straight into the Twin Howl. Doesn't have enough drive to go into Master Form. Kind of sitting in
Ooh.
limbo right now. Oh,
Ooh.
and that's just
An
like a yeah,
unfortunate death there. Yeah.
yeah. That's a bad time lost there on the side of Dot Dot. Considering you and mm, not much to sell. Can buy 2 or 3. Oh, got a lot to sell.
Yeah. Going to sell the expensive jewelry that, at least in these settings, don't have additional abilities on them. So making use of that, buy some ethers. Might choose to divert and uh, go to screens, or maybe try again. We'll see. Looks like trying again. Um, we didn't get anything off of Darkthorn though, in terms of progression items, but we do get a hint for 2 locations. We got the Way to the Dawn off of levels being hinted, and in the World Never Was that's represented by that Way to the Dawn, we have an ice cream and yet another page. Um, so it's semi-useful.
Funny
Um,
chain.
yeah. So kind of indicative that if we don't get much of out of SP, OC might need to give us something. So having to get through Hades Escape might be just a bit of a struggle that you have to just deal with.
Yeah. Fish showing having a little bit of extra stats, making this a little bit easier for them.
Mm-hmm.
Few extra abilities popping into the Bushido this time. Got a target lock onto the big body so you can do a good amount of damage. Not using all of the commands either. Only use the orange parts. I don't think anything but the bat's gonna die.
It does get the full swing, so that should help quite a bit.
And that's it.
And
Got through.
it's through.
Same thing kind of happening on the side of Dot Dot. Not really getting damage onto the big body. You kind of want to lock on a target switch to him so you can going back into another Bushido. So you can do most of your damage to him while doing damage to the other things with the AoE stuff. But Fish on the other side making use of the Thunder. They got high magic stat, the Thunder boost, easily getting through Surge. Dot Dot getting that magic boost on level 11 will make his serve slightly easier as well too.
Mm-hmm. So I guess it's an interesting point now, going this far into OC. Where do we stop? Because do we stop once we get the next hint if you're on Fish's side? Do we just go through to Hydra? Try and level that Master Form that we've got our hands on? Maybe that little bit more? Like, what's the ideal point here?
Ideal. Oh, Dot Dot
Ooh.
getting sniped by the bite. And already using the free scum a few times in the threshold to fight, kind of pushing himself over, not getting it this time in the Surge fight. But I mean, I don't think. I think if you decide to push all the way to Hydra, it's not a bad play. But if you decide to leave like after Pete or before the lock or something like that. That's also not terrible either. I mean, I think you should push through because you have the tools to do hydro. Oh, and there's explosion.
Oh,
So no, never mind. I lied. I'm going to screens for sure.
it's like explosion, Magneto explosion. We're going.
Wait, I'm going to screens. I lied. But honestly, I probably would still just push Hydra because Hydra is gonna give me for sure my next hint. Try to get a little bit of sneaky levels on Master Form and stuff like that. Clear it out of the way. It's not a bad first visit push due to the fact that you have Book Boy on the table. It's kind of like setting up for that. Again, you got all the tools and everything you could want for to get through it. So I think that's the play you make. And now that you got that explosion and that magnet sitting at the stats that you sitting in those Fish's side, I'm going to screens. I'm getting that way to the dawn. I'm pushing through the world that never was. I'm getting my page. I'm doing Spooky Cave.
Oh my goodness, what a hint.
Don't clip that.
So, on the topic of hints, we have a very, very bulky drives hint.
That is crazy.
So we have 2 drives on drives, being Final Form and Limit Form, but we also have 4 world unlocks, and that is an ice cream, a Naminé sketches, a scimitar, and a Sword of the Ancestor. And that doesn't even factor in items that in Event 2 don't get hinted, which are the non-progression based items like our magics, our summons. So that's a very loaded drives, to say the least. I think with that, I'm very, very interested in leveling Master Form at this point. Maybe even considering our auto forms on screens into using Stitch. That's probably something I'm considering here, because that's just way too many items there to take for granted. That being said, there is also the Halloween Town shotgun, so we could look to clear HT alternatively, set up for the Halloween Town 2 objective. That's certainly a thought as well. But it looks like Fish is gotten the Hydra's back, complied with Phil's request, and using the Urnator to stun the Hydra's heads.
Yeah, this is a situation where the Thunders would 100% do more damage. You do the Thunders plus the Keyblade hits in, and yep, just like that.
I would have loved using the Fire to close the gap a little quicker, as well as doing some initial impact, and then doing these Thunders. But this is still decent. No dice on Master 3 though, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Might pull out Stitch, maybe.
Kind of in an awkward situation here. This is dangerous.
Yeah, I think if you pull out Stitch, this would feel a little safer, and the buddy might refresh our our MP, sorry. But it looks like Fish is instead just going for the hits, getting that MP back, using the Thunders instead.
Yeah, the duck is dead too. Oh, and there's XP boost. Nope, I'm going to screens. 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 Go to screens now. Dot opting not to go finish Hydra though. Will be missing out.
That XP boost.
Yeah, missing out on the extra hints, mixing out on the XP boost. This could be interesting.
So not having the...
Oh, never mind. Never punished.
Yeah. But not going into uh, Hydra probably doesn't incentivize you as hard to go to screens. Um, but it looks like both players have elected to go to Halloween Town first. As you've alluded to, getting that reflect off of the Dr. Finkelstein's lab.
Oh.
And a sort of the ancestor. So that's going to open up our village cave objective that we have on the table. Very accessible with the McNair.
I feel like the more you do this stuff, like the longer you just put off screens, and then like at some point, like the way that it feel like the stats are going, you're gonna end up getting enough stats to where like, I mean, I guess that's not a bad thing either, but where you might be in a situation where the screens play is just not even worth even sitting there to get the 2 minutes, spend the 2 minutes to do anything.
Well, yes and no, because of the amount of items on drives, so we might need to use it instead of drives. Is probably my counterpoint here. That we could utilize it for that instead.
I guess.
Obviously, that's a little dependent on when we get around to revisiting screens, whether or not we have the items off of drives yet. Obviously, if we don't have any of them, then I don't think it's too bad. But a little worse the longer we put it off. I agree.
Yeah, now you're going in the LOD for sure. I mean, it's not a bad play. You push LBJ. Hope he got something else in here for you.
I think from Dot's point of view, without the XP boost, I can see this play being a little more objectively correct. Not just for the village cave, but you just don't have the XP boost, so you're wanting to extract a little more value. Can be a little bit of a disincentivization.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thought I'm not finishing up the Hydra, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, either play I think is fine. I mean, I guess I'm only looking at screens too, because it's like, at this point now you have a fire and like you gotta reflect, and it's like, well.
McNair explosion. I can totally see that.
I guess I'm looking at like scenes just being like, I'm doing this.
Yeah. Obviously, the main thing, other than Loxine holding you back from the Loxine objective, is the desired strength stat for MCP. Because it is very unfortunate when you have to do MCP without the strength.
Yeah. Can be kind of annoying for sure.
And an early royal summons for mission 3, which both of our races likely will get their hands on. Even more of our shotguns to comb through after the village cave. I don't imagine that the races will clear through the summit minute fight, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong many a time.
Yeah. I believe it is worth prog points in event 2.
Yes. Yes, but with the Disney Castle, I think I'd just be dissuaded from going. And you still have screens. But I guess from Dot's point of view, like I mentioned, not having XP boost might be the main thing holding them back.
If this is another magnet?
Okay. No, it's just a cure. I'm very surprised that neither of our races have aggressively checked our... Oh, sorry, Fish has, but Dot hasn't really aggressively checked for Keyblades here. Especially knowing that Final Form's on drives. We might want to check our keyblades, check for light and darkness, maybe. I'm
Mm-hmm.
surprised we haven't been doing that. Um, Admittedly, nowhere to really level final form right as of now, but still a tool you would like to have maybe enable Master 4, given what we have so far.
You could have a place to level it if you got levels and got the weight of the dawn.
Sure.
And just do screens.
Okay. And there's the check. We did see we did see a Berserk Charge Keyblade of note in their possession. So that is something that they will probably keep in mind, since the seed is likely gearing them towards having to push the World in the Wars, and looks like Dot Dot is just going through the summit fight.
Okay. Interesting choice. And
Uh, I can see this. We're doing the summit fight. We're likely set up to do Shan Yu as well and give us our next hint. But we do, on the topic of hints, get the next hint on Fisher's side for Space Paranoids and Port Royal, which informs us that Space Paranoids has no more important checks within its area, and Port Royal has the other scimitar and the other bone fist that we don't have yet. Notably, we still don't have any means of getting into Port Royal, but those are the items that we can find in Port Royal that are towards our progression of the seed.
yeah, Fish sitting almost pretty much a full hint ahead of Dot Dot here.
Yeah.
Few extra deeper pushes here, getting that Hydra info. Honestly, it's kind of like setting it apart.
Yeah. You can see Fish elected to not continue on through that minute fight on Summit. But as I mentioned, probably you'll see from Dot Dot just clearing Shan Yu, relatively elementary, can potentially use Master Form in that fight in the courtyard.
Mm-hmm.
But we pick up a Wisdom
Wisdom
Form
form.
in Disney Castle, so Fish is going to make use of the corridor before in the colonnade. And maybe doesn't make use of the colonnade to level wisdom really quickly. Surprising considering the drives hint that we've got so far.
I mean, I guess one thing to consider is that if you do push mini, you can turn around and do master form off of the boat towers with the double magnet, and then come out here and do your wisdom stuff if you wanted to do it that way. That could be possibly the setup that they're going for.
Yeah, or maybe is just maybe Tiffy, they're considering screens now. Maybe.
Hopefully. Hopefully. It's like
Yeah,
how
so we'll
long do
see
we
Dot
put
Dot
on
now
screens?
following behind in Disney Castle. We'll see whether or not they choose to make use of that wisdom form that is available to them in the colonnade, or they will just push through in this unhinted BC.
Taking the long way. Is opting to do some wisdom here.
Yeah. So typically, most people that elect to go the long way will be using it to level their drive form
And there's
and get
limit
that
form.
limit form off of Wisdom 3.
Mm-hmm.
So that gives us our access to drive level 5 so far, which not only gives us more availability for all those checks on drives, but when you get to drive level 5, you do get a progression point, so that can help recover the progression point deficit that we have so far on that side.
Mm-hmm.
Fish not actually electing to utilize um, the bolt towers there. Instead, looks to be going through the LOD summit fight.
It's going back down.
Does Fish think he's done the
I
summit
think
fight?
Fish thinks he's done the summit fight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Probably just thinking a couple steps ahead. Unfortunately, you still have to do the action of clearing certain things. And also, very unfortunately, doesn't have limit form available to him going into his, because he could have used this minute fight to level limit.
Mm-hmm. Definitely would have been a good
Obviously,
spot.
yeah. Obviously, Dot Dot didn't have that available to them because they hadn't checked Disney Castle prior, so wasn't really an option. Um, but instead, Dot Dot is has very quickly caught up close to the progression points to Fish.
Mm-hmm.
And looks like Dot Dot is going to make use of Hydra, finishing off the remainder of Olympus Coliseum. Might
Yeah.
not get Master 5 here, but hoping to probably get Master 4, I would assume.
Yeah, you do got double pop of master form, so can pop it here, get these orbs, kill the 3 heads, pop out, do your regular thunders, then pop master again at the end of the fight to collect the ones off of the
Meg
full Hydra.
as
Well,
well.
yeah, you grab Meg ones too on your way over after this one.
Yeah.
Don't look like it's a jackpot on them. Don't look like it's a drive converter. They do got drive converter though.
They do have Drive Converter, but unfortunately, because it's the way Hydra works is that it's a set number of orbs, I believe, excluding the jackpots. The Drive Converter just doesn't a ton for you here. But looks like we'll be able to. I thought we might have been just going straight into Master Form there with the heads being so low, but now gets their experience boost and gets to Master Level 4, as I predicted. Gets half of the combo that Podgy loves with the magic lock on. Taking off the Lucky, which we don't really need in these settings because there is no synth in these settings that we need to grind for.
And immediately taking that plunge in the screens.
Yeah.
Got wisdom form, got limit form. Got a few options that he can choose once more. Yep, should be able to survive this.
Yep. Looks like you're pulling out Stitch in the first instance, prioritizing those levels. Totally understandable. Want some safety on top of the fact that we do have that Way to the Dawn on levels.
Being 40 minutes into the seed and just now seeing level 17 is crazy.
Yeah. Meanwhile, we have Fish going into Halloween Town, sees the other battlefields of war. Yeah. Hoping to probably set up for the other Halloween Town objective and maybe Zexion. Makes a bit of sense here. We know that Dot Dot is unfortunately being now licked out of the critical uh, warning health where Stitch loves to use his ukulele, so unfortunately isn't helping with the blending of all of the strafers here. But Dot Dot's getting relatively fortunate with Licks instead, able to utilize a lot of magnets, magnet explosions. Is able to get to level 30, so gets the progression point off of levels, which reveals our next hint, which Fish already has.
And the
Also provides us
Battlefields
some
Award is just on
just on
PK.
PK. Okay, we do get our first hint of how you can get to Port Royal, whilst we get one of our ways to the dawn
On 32.
Mm-hmm.
And your ice cream leads you to PR and another way to the dawn.
Yep.
So it's looking like you might be skipping Halloween Town 2 in Marley.
I think Marley's the most Marley and maybe Spooky Cave are likely here. I would take a gander.
Cause the ice, like you gotta go through the world that never was to get the ice cream. Oh, this is scary.
Yeah.
This is scary.
Yeah. This is a little spooky.
Jack being a goat.
Yeah.
Just gotta be careful through this last phase. Dot Dot on the other side here leveling up limit form in a world that never was. We'll see what we get here.
Might be also preparing to beat Roxas using that limit form that we've got and a decent stat spread.
Mm-hmm.
Surprisingly, using Wisdom.
Yeah, I think the Wisdom Fire would be a little bit better, or the Wisdom Thunder. Kind of try to conserve a little bit of the AMP.
Mm-hmm.
It is going into Roxas, though. I don't mind this at all. You know the world that never was got an ice cream. You know it's got a page. You know the kid always has something. It's just a lot of things we know here. Opting to go for just the rag loop here. I like this. Does have a double pop of limit for him too, so wait for Roxas to dash, pop it, get him stunned, go into got the R's here. Yep. Boom. One hit. Boom. GG's. Good Roxas fight from Dot Dot there. It's pretty.
Yeah.
Fish on the other side here is opting to just go ahead and possibly just go to Hyenas too.
Yeah.
Might see that he has access to Book Boy and Larks. Yeah. Got access to Book Boy and Larks and like just go ahead and knock this out. Maybe get some PP and open up where you need to go. Oh, and look, there's an ice cream and the page.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yep. Look.
Yep.
Now the real kicker is where... Huh?
Yeah, that was all the important checks in the one that was.
Yep. The real kicker is where is this skilling cross in TT to potentially set up to go to Halloween Town too. I feel like the Agrabah unlock is gonna be like the more likely one to be in the first visit.
Yeah.
Cause it'll make you think that you can go get Valor Form, but you can't. Cause Valor Forms in the second visit.
Also fair. Unfortunately for Fish, is seeing the anger grow for far too long.
This is scary.
Ooh, and he's getting ravaged by Scar here. Maybe low on items. Doesn't want to throw the remaining ether. Gotta be careful here, because definitely can get angry. Yep, and the anger has indeed grown again.
Simba not being allowed to save you now. You gotta use your reflex.
Yep.
Yeah, this is scary here. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Unfortunate there. Dot not opting to do Iggy. Going in 100A checking this page. Got a drive up. That's pretty nice. And another magnet.
Okay.
Also gonna hit this ticker page. Do the mini game, get the PP. Set itself up to be one away from another set of hints.
Yeah. I think a cheeky way to get your next hint immediately would be just getting Master 5.
Yep.
Go through Disney Castle for one cycle. I think would probably be not a terrible idea, but is instead just go straight into Twilight Town, hoping to get that skill and crossbones from Twilight Town 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree with you on the drives play for sure. Yeah, Wisdom 3, yeah, Master 4. Like, you can get 2 easy power points there. Even potentially decide to waste a little bit of time there and do some limit for him there if you just committing fully on drives like that. But,
Yeah. Oh, I'm just also of the
oh,
opinion that
yeah.
we might be able to get final form, but it's instead using Genie, our magnet, and
Oh, yeah. The
getting Genie traps
Master
just causes me
Genie.
a huge amount of damage.
That was kind of sick. Can't lie. Fish getting healed by Tron. Now in XP boost range. Not sure. Are they trying to? Oh, I think they're trying to die because they need to. They want to reset. That's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Now Dot's following up with that Disney Castle play.
Yep.
Uh,
Yep.
Goes
Oh.
straight into Master,
Mm-hmm.
but did get a hint. In the meantime, with a hint being the other skill and crossbones unlock is here in Timeless River, and an additional beast floor. But we also get a hint towards STT, which has a page and the membership card
Final form on
on
Wisdom's
Wisdom 5.
5.
Yeah, so
I think Sunshine co-opt with Jesus on this seed. Cause having drives on drives is crazy.
oh my gosh, and follows up immediately with Wisdom 6, giving you a ice cream, giving us guaranteed access to that skill and crossbones, and the other way to the dawn is pretty substantial here.
I think there's go mode though, no? You're skipping.
I think it is. Yes.
Yeah, you're skipping Halloween Town and you're skipping Marley. I mean, I guess you could still do Halloween Town and skip Bookboy or Larks. Halloween Town is
Well, we
not
can't skip Spooky
bad.
Cave until we have access to STT. So,
Oh wait, yeah.
we
So
still
you
need
can't
one more
do that.
page for Spooky Cave. So, yes, Dot has set up to get to Spooky should they get another.
Ooh.
Should they get another page, but doesn't have access to that just yet.
Wait, that def means he doesn't. They don't have Scum on.
Yes, that is indeed the case. Well, at the very least, doesn't have second chance on, which they may not have put on because of the fact that they may not have menued after Roxas. Throws on some drive recoveries though. Probably looking to level final form off of the mansion fight, considering we don't have either of those world unlocks so far through Twilight Town. Meanwhile, Fish has come out of screens. Not as successful as Dot through screens, but has 38 in the magic stat, which is more or less a decent enough for most of the content that we're looking to do here. Dot Dot wanting to get hit by the sniper there, but didn't want to take too much time, so just pushed on.
This is interesting.
I think personally, I would have loved to see some use of the fire that we do have, even if we have to manually menu it. Instead, just using that thunder with all those thunder boosts to do a huge amount of cleanup and dual standstill, hopefully finish them off.
Picking up that
gets the skill and crossbones. Probably just all we wanted from this. Does pick up the additional weight of the dawn in the lobby.
Doing a quick little check of some other possible tools and
Maybe
abilities.
Magic.
Yeah. Could.
Gets a funny light and darkness.
Yeah, I was gonna say could opt to do a little bit of leveling here. I mean, STT look like you might have to do potentially if you want to get out, and you got access to the drives potentially.
We might optimistically try to get Master 6 here if we have a drive converter. I think we do have a drive converter.
That's the AG. If that Valor form is just in the shotgun.
Imagine.
Cause like, what are you doing? Like, you're doing this, and that'll give you 6. You have Book Boy is 7. You have Lark Scene is 8. You have Hyenas is 9. And you need a single page for 10. Or you hope that Bonefist is in the first visit. I guess if Bonefist is not in the first visit of PR, that's what I think would help make my decision on what I actually end up doing.
Yeah. This definitively tells us where we need to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
This visit.
Because then at this point, it's like, I think the Royal Summons is in Hollow Bastion. Where's the other Beast Claw? Yeah.
It's hinted in TR.
Yeah. So it's got to be in Hollow Bastion, I think. Because that page being at STT, it's like you could get AG access to get Valor form to have to get the sketches. Like, that is a possibility. Because it's more likely that this Bonefist is potentially in the second visit, because seeds are funny.
Sure. These have been pretty funny, but I would say there's a pretty even balance at the moment that it's in first visit. You're just going off your intuition, I would assume.
Yeah. Not like any statistical, like, for sure, like, nah. That's just kind of like feel like how these seeds play out, because like it's just like how the hints kind of came.
I think that's totally fair, but I think you play on the hope that you don't need to do that.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I think the PR, like in the PR, I think is like what you have to do, because that's gonna solidify like what you need to do. I feel like you could have took a little bit of time here to do some limit leveling on the minute fight or here master, too, or a master, yeah. Being that you got access to 6.
I would have preferred Master, I think, just because if we could sneak Master 6 when we can just do Limit anywhere. That's my opinion on that. But they're pretty similar.
I mean, could have did both, honestly. Could have got the Master 6, popped down and did try to do some Limit, honestly. I mean, being that you got so much on drives and you have access to drives and they're not max, I think it's like more so the common thing that I think we can agree on.
Yes. Um, he's going to make use of the drives as a MP refresh for that boat fight. Fish going back in post Scar. He's now going for that Hyenas 2 objective. Dot refilling the ether stack since we're getting very low. And
it's in Hollow Bastion. Yep. It surely is. The Royal Summons is in Hollow Bastion. So like you have to go to STT if you want to go that route. If that second if the bonefish,
you have access to Spooky, right?
Yep.
So arguably it is better. There's the Bone Fist. We don't need to go into STT. So it looks like for Dot, it's pretty clear what the objectives are going to be here now. Pretty set in stone.
Yep.
Looks like we'll be skipping Spooky Cave and Marluxia. So they will now make their progression through each of the worlds and the objectives they need done, starting with Pride Lands. Doing all of the fights that Fish has just done here in Pride Lands. And we'll see what Fish chooses to do instead.
Yeah, Fish still doesn't have that ice cream, still doesn't have the weight of the Dawn. Missing a few pieces to the puzzle to help get him over the hump here.
Being a little indecisive here, trying to figure out what play they want to make. Looks like they got through the initial fights. Is now going to pursue Zexion, it appears to be. We know that Light and Darkness is in Twilight Town 3 Mansion, so won't have access to it right this moment. So is instead electing to utilize that Magnet and Thunder with very considerable magic stat.
Making easy work of that fight.
Surprisingly not choosing to go straight to Hades or just overshooting it.
Yeah, item management.
Wrong dot. Yeah.
Item management on both sides, I feel like kind of been like a point of emphasis. I think should be made. Can't just spam items all of the time, especially when you got access to drives and stuff like that too. Trying to use those instead to refill MP end up putting you in a little better situation, so you're not just burning through items. We even seen people have full money pouches and stuff too and still end up blowing through items. I think a little bit late on that. Go catch the DM.
Definitely catches the DM there. I think during this phase is a great time when you have the limit gauge going to throw a couple items just to enable the reflex to keep you protected. I think it's not a terrible idea.
Yeah,
especially right now where Simba can just get angry one more time, just like that.
But does have MP, can reflect through these dashes. He doubled back on them. Simba coming through clutch with the heal right before he died. His last breath. Getting in the blizzards.
Eventually gets through.
Yep, making it through. Got Fish here on the other side, taking on Hades. This is a scary fight too. Doesn't have the full scum that gonna get caught up in this. Yeah. Oh, the one's saving him. But it is one shot by anything else in the stage.
Yeah. Ooh. These random fires will kill him if he's not paying attention. Not lucky. but Hades will go into an invulnerable state here, but gets punished by the Aura Sphere, making use of that magic stat via explosion. Unfortunately, is a bit far and isn't electing to close the gap. Instead, let's Hades get vulnerable once more. In a very spooky position, especially low on mana. More. In the meantime, Dot Dot has cleared through the Hyenas 2 objective. Is there any particular order that you'd be wanting to do the objectives for Dot Dot? Try and make use of the fights that we have, or just go around in the GOA?
I'd probably do. I'd probably try to do Lark Scene last, so that any bits of XP that I could snag on the way to getting ready to do MCP could help out some. Don't have Valor Form to kind of abuse and get, a little bit of extra damage in. Not sure how many reaction boosts we quite have. So we'll be probably looking to try to just eke out as much XP going through Halloween Town 2. And well, I guess I won't get none in Halloween Town 2 because I was doing the Kids Elite. But in OC2, off of those 3 force fights that I have to do, and see if I can try to get 40, maybe 41 or so. Yeah. 41, 43 magic. I mean, strength stat.
Yeah. I mean, our strength stat is at a reasonable enough point, and we picked up a full bloom. I think we can put ourselves in a good enough spot for MCP now, because we still also have the forced fights in SP2 prior to SP itself.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, that's why I was saving for last, because I try to like max all of that. And wisdom. Oh, we already knew wisdom 5 had final. I thought we was missing final. We're looking for the sketches, I guess, technically. That would be something to know.
Like Fish turned around. Did get that final form so far off of leveling prior to at the start of the World Never Was. I think, like you mentioned before, though, would have liked to see some use of the fire instead of just burning through our magnets.
Yeah, Wisdom Magnet don't do it. It don't kill those shadows as easily as you would think. Even in DC, sometimes they kind of just like pick them up and then just move them back and forth. Even when you got like crazy stats, sometimes.
Yeah.
Just do some weird stuff.
Does get that ice cream eventually from Wisdom 6, though.
Yep.
So we'll find their way to Twilight Town 2 at the very least. But we'll still need to get into Twilight Town 3 from what we know logically in this seed. Unless the STT access is on a drive level we have not yet checked that is reachable. And instead elect that.
Just throwing magnets up. Jump magnet would be a little bit better. Always the preferred method to use, whichever.
So just a quick note on why that jump magnet is better is because the moment you land, you basically get a complete reset in terms of the animation, so you can go back up and immediately pop yet another magnet to layer, just like what we do to make the blender happen for 1K and screens. So that's just a little bit of a tidbit to reasoning.
Yeah, you saw Dot Dot, you do it in the Hades chamber fight with those nobodies. Getting through it super fast. Ooh.
Unfortunately,
Slight.
also getting slapped super fast by Hades. Hades is clearly not having any of it.
I still don't think they have full scammer.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Interestingly, have just forgotten to put it on. Doesn't want to menu, maybe.
Wait, do we have another free scammer?
Maybe.
Using the
we are
whirly
seeing.
goof.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually
To
pretty
obliterate
nice.
the HP bar.
Mm-hmm. It's good strats there.
Goes into limits. Fortunately, Hades is not willing to cooperate for too long. So having to use those aura spheres that had just dissipated. And likely going for an Oz. Maybe ending with a Ragnarok. Oh no, just finishing with an Oz.
Just
Puts
smack
him at the very end.
We did come across. Oh.
Mm-hmm. You're going.
I don't say we did come across that scimitar on drives. Didn't see which drive it was. Yeah, I think it was.
It's on limit 4.
Money pouch.
And a money pouch. Yeah, so it looks like Fish has been choosing to grind their drives off of the start of The World Never Was. I will note that there is a bit of a tech that you can use at the beginning of The World Never Was. If you are trying to level limit, it's an idea where you can take one hit from the shadows. That will put you, it will make use of the natural MP rage, and will give you 3 limit pops minimum without having to refresh your MP bar. You see Dot on the other hand, making quick work of Zaxian here, using those fires to break open the book, and then the thunder to stun lock him for a bit, and finishing him off with a limit form Ragnarok.
Good
and
fight.
Getting a scimitar whilst finishing off.
Good fight. Did end up getting that strength stat to 41 too. So yeah, sitting pretty nice going into this SP.
Looks like they still have hostile program to do first. So this should be relatively elementary. Goes straight into final form just to output the damage off rip instead of the early magic / setup strats that a lot of races elect to do instead. This is interesting, making use of the final glide to output some level of impact, but unfortunately, without having that second chance on, can just die instantly to hostile program.
Yeah, and was at the HP threshold too, so the final glides weren't even really doing any damage because you needed to hit a finisher. And there's the GOAT himself, chicken high and inaugural.
Yep. This time we're seeing the setup strats. During the limit, you can't get hit, so making use of that. And now, just a very small amount of HP on hostile program until it goes into its next phase. Likely going into either limit or final here. Yep. Making use of the situation to get a sneaky level of limit. And looks like we just have a Space Paranoids 2 to go until we reach final fights.
Looking at it too, Dot got almost a minute's worth of loadless advantage over Fish as well too. So Kind of tough here, I think, for Fish to kind of pull it back.
Yeah. Fortunately for Fish, doesn't have that Way to the Dawn on level 32 to be able to
Oh,
progress to get that Twilight Town 3 that helps snowball the rest of the seed. So it's understandably pushing other things to try and free themselves in the seed. Um,
and
Possibly
guess
looking at
what?
that FDT objective.
Yep, there it is. The Valor form.
Mm-hmm.
It's just right there. Now you got all 7 drive.
Yep. Um, Unfortunately for Fish, that collection of that Valor form does mean that um, there are no more important checks left here um, in Agrabah, but does get through this fight with relative ease. Interestingly, is pushing through.
I think the idea here is utilizing the drive converter on Master form.
Yeah, um, on the these small fiery globes and snow cubes, ice
Yeah,
cubes. I mean,
yeah.
does get to Master 6. Meanwhile, we see the quick bout with Sark, and still not having that second chance on. Sark does hurt, so we'll see whether or not Dot Dot eventually chooses to equip second chance. But in the meantime, he's going to use their forms to try and punish Sark, get into the next phase against MCP.
Making it through this time. Fish trying to decide what to do. Yeah. Leveling up on screens ended up being the play kind of overall. Led you to the ice cream.
And how well your screens went really mattered. Gets us sort of the answers for their troubles, though. Interestingly, we still haven't seen those Naminé sketches, despite all of the drive levels that we've checked. But in the meantime, we are looking to complete the 1 cycle on MCP on Dot Dot side. Should be able to get there. It's ample strength stat. Does indeed.
Yeah. Sitting at 41, got a couple reaction boosts. Kind of chilling for that right now. Checking the duck has Duckworks, by the way.
Yeah, and Dot Dot elects to use Fantasia instead. Interesting. For Larxene, probably wants a little bit more additional protection instead of the large amount of damage from PC Duck Flare.
When in doubt, Duckworks.
Potentially, yes, Koji. And meanwhile, Fish gets the Naminé sketches on Valor 7
Valor
of all
7
occasions.
is crazy.
So we will very likely see Fish now go into STT instead, making that dive.
Out of MP now in a very dangerous situation. Did finally put on second chance though. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, if they were deciding to go for Comet strats, definitely got let down by the duck because that guy's always dead.
Unfortunately for uh, Dot Dot doesn't have that money pouch off of limit 5, so is having to scrape the bottom of the barrel here. Um, but if you aren't scraping at the bottom of the barrel, you you are able to donate. Here's a reminder to everyone that if you can donate, we are also putting this beginner bootcamp 2 tournament not just to see the improvement from all of our beginners who are willing to step up their game to get to crit, but also for a great cause in the American Heart Association. So if you are willing and able, uh, please press the follow the link in the in comments, or alternatively through the link that's about to be posted here.
Dot choosing to do a little bit of arts work on Larks. Should be able to get the kill. After this, do one combo, go back into limit. Nice pause buffer in there. Yep. GG's.
Yep.
Nice job from Dot Dot.
Dot Dot is now through onto their final requirements for the seed. We'll be going through Station of Calling to get to our final fights with Zemnis. Unfortunately, is very much on the broke side, so not able to purchase the large stack of elixirs towards the end game.
Yeah, I think I seen like 4 or something like that in some mega elixirs.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of got it through the deck. Also, don't forget about the one that you can get from the synth shop too. When you hit synth after you get a synth item, free elixir.
Meanwhile, we have Fish has got up to struggles so far in STT, still without either of the important checks, but is making use of that limit form to make relatively quick work of these struggle fights with its innate draw. Interesting when went out of limit form and then went back in. And we're now in engine course so far for Dot Dot, whilst we get a Blizzard for clearing Axel 1 in SCT. Coming up to the bulk of the checks post-struggle fights. Looks like our Stitch is cooperating. A timely lick there. Stays in Stitch to go into X1. Uh, it's safe.
Oh,
Ooh, but unfortunately, um,
do they still not have
it's,
Scum?
potentially yes.
It's gonna happen again. That's the
Yeah.
same loop again.
Mm-hmm.
There's not much you can do here. I mean, you got. I mean, I guess.
You can dismiss, go into final form here, and
Yeah,
then do that strategy instead.
yeah.
That
Slow
would
down.
be a decent option. Slow
Yeah,
it down a little bit,
yeah. Slow down the
or just
combo. Yep, yep, yep,
yep,
yep, yep, yep, yep.
just
Reflect.
patiently reflect.
There we go.
Yep, went through.
Man, this AX2 could be interesting. Cause if you don't have Scum, like you get caught by that sword swipe, it's pretty. It's gonna hurt. Oh, reflected that one. Better hope he nice.
Yeah,
Good
unfortunately,
clip.
just reflecting the one attack you probably don't want to reflect. Because you need to fire 2 rounds of buildings at Zemnis, Armored Zemnis 2. Um,
He'll keep doing it. Thankfully, I promise you, once before, I had him do the swipe down. I reflected it. He did the side sword swipe after the swipe down. I died a lot in final fights. Answer League. Like a lot. I did a lot of reflectless, no scum final fights.
skill issue, I think.
I,
You're taking strays whilst in the booth.
apparently, you can just make them do whatever you want to do. I don't have that skill. No, I don't have that one. Sorry. I was also told that you couldn't throw an ether, go into a reflect, and still get a dome skip, but I have seen it, so I don't know. I don't know what's real anymore.
And we are now on the fight with the Zebra Man himself. Making good use of that magic stat and Reflera to do huge amounts of damage.
Yep.
Getting us straight into laser phase.
Mm-hmm.
Still need to be a little wary here because we don't have Scum fully equipped. So need to make sure we time our reflex well. We're likely setting up for a reflect into a session. What I would imagine is happening here.
Yep, should be a stun. Should be
Using our
good.
stat line to be able to make use of reaction commands. And GG's to dot.
Jeez. Finishing with a 127.15.
So just to reiterate, that both our races still played very well. This is on crit, and that now that Dot has won, will await their opponent in the next matchup between much later on. I believe between Timbo and Dexter's as another rematch. That's happened multiple times in the tournament. So we shall see Fish clear out their objectives now. Still 2 levels away from that Way to the Dawn, unfortunately, despite all the content that they have cleared so far. It does have access to Hollow Bastion 2 if they want to go there for the Spooky Cave access. Or unfortunately, using the keys in Zexion. Out of fire.
Yeah, it's gonna raise that RV up. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. is now forced in the DM.
Oh. Has negative combo on. It's gonna send him back in
Yeah.
the DM again.
World. Yep. Especially with all those explosions pouring through that RV.
Get in there, RC there. One more combo and that should be Book Boy down.
Dragon's now going through SP2 for, never mind, retreats back to the garden.
Probably moving a little too fast for his game. Ooh, boy. Donald with the cure. Or a potion. Yeah, it was a cure. No MP.
Is maybe going to get access to. Ooh, never mind.
Oh.
Taking a huge amount of damage here. Goes into setup for a defensive limit here to handle these waves.
Inadvertently an XP boost too.
See whether or not they get level 32 off of this for their way to the dawn. Probably not, I would imagine.
Yeah, you gotta take advantage of this and do a little bit more damage. That orb chasing you down.
Ooh, it takes a large orb to the face.
Yeah. Doesn't have the second chance to put it on, so even a little bit more scarier. SP2 is very dangerous.
Does Fish still have a negative combo on? Maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Looks to be the case.
I'm gonna go final form this time.
Ooh. He is very low on HP. Uses an emergency cure instead of.
This is scary. You gonna retaliate? Yeah. Okay.
But makes it through. We'll likely pick up level 32 from Solar Sailor. And we'll find that Way to the Dawn that Dot Dot has had for quite a while, fortunately. Interestingly, I think not choosing to go to Hollow Bastion, but instead coming here is certainly an interesting decision, considering what they had available to them. Because yes, this leads you to Larxene, but Hollow Bastion could get you both the Page and the Royal Summons to get the other skill in Crossbones that that isn't from Twilight Town.
Yeah.
But is making use of Ripple Drive to clear the enemies here.
Yeah. Getting good use of that AoE to going into the rag and that Duckworks was there.
Very low. And it looks like Fish will push forward through the sock.
We love Ripple Drive. Funniest move in the game, right? Oof. One of, okay. That's what it is. Top 3. It ain't third.
It ain't third. Okay.
Alright.
It's making it through the sock section of the MCP dual fight.
71
Does have-
PP on the side of Fish.
Yeah.
Them drives.
Definitely contributing quite a bit. Making use of that explosion to cripple the panels, and is overshooting for the.
Don't think
definitely
they
overshot.
understand the one cycle. Yeah, that's tough.
And instantly dies for it.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Not having a second chance doesn't seem like they fully understand the mechanic of skipping the one cycle on the MCP here.
Yeah.
So
Unfortunately, yeah, go on.
No, you go ahead.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you're meant to not push past approximately 1.5 hours of MCP if you wanted to retain its first phase pattern, where you don't see those lasers come out of the panels. So that's probably something to keep in mind. Fortunately for Fish, is just going to make use of the negative combo explosion to try and brute force, from what I can tell. Ooh, goes into limit, I think, for some health.
Yeah, just gonna send it again. Gonna be in that awkward situation. You got him. That's fine, I guess. This should be dim. Gotta run away from the lasers. Don't, dude. Just run. Just maneuver through the lasers. Just walk with the panels. If you can, be on the other side of Stark, so that when he does wake up, he is probably gonna do the tower move.
Yeah.
So you can quickly one cycle him back in the MCP.
To get the needle drive.
That's what it's called, the needle drive.
To get needle dive. Needle dive, sorry.
Needle dive.
Yeah, from the wall that spawns.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, negative combo not being Fish's friend here. We'll be able to get through the fight, I think. Should be able to get through without taking another DM based off of how much health he took this time. Yeah. And it's dead.
We'll find all of the items here before Zigbar, as we already know from a Dot's point of view. And we'll have access to Spooky and Twilight Town 3. there's that second chance that Fish would have loved to have during those lock scene interactions.
Yeah, I think in this situation for the AP stuff that he was just kind of dealing with, I think you take off the defenders.
Yep.
Because now you got second chance. They don't really matter as much.
It doesn't look like Fish actually checked the chest. Yes, ... You did. So you had just equipped it. You probably would have lowered the death count quite a considerable margin.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. At least there's a quick lesson to be learned, just to remember to check your abilities. You seem to be dying in one shot too easily. We all forget. It's a common enough thing. Just recognizing when you don't have it on is probably just the thing to pick up.
Yeah, I thought she was just a free scammer enjoyer. It's like, welcome
Another
to the
one
club.
of Tippy's club.
Welcome to the club, man. Free scum. Do the fight right or die. Nah, definitely want to make sure you put scum on if you have it. Especially on crit. Especially on crit. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the scum is almost more important than seeing like a reflect pop off in crit, it feel like.
Especially with enabling autoforms with ease.
Mm-hmm. Being safe in next people's range, going through screens and stuff like that. So many little places that you take unnecessary deaths in that you can just kind of mitigate a little bit more if you do make a mistake. Just having that scum. You made a mistake and it's okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we all make these mistakes, so it's totally acceptable.
Now, if you do it again, you might have some words.
You might not hear some nice things from Tippy.
You might have some words, I see it again.
We do see Fish now picks up their skill and crossbows. Probably going to divert here.
Yeah.
Going to shop first, making use of the money pouch that was found on limit 5 that unfortunately ... never got to. Is stocking up with ethers though.
Looks like giving stuff to Donald and Goofy. What are we prepping for?
Not too sure, to be honest.
PR. Okay. Didn't check.
Interestingly, didn't check Rampart.
Yeah.
Which they may have thought they've already done.
But I guess seeing that they have the space to spooky, they might just be doing this like scene and then pages and not even be thinking about the bonefish. Wait, never mind, turn around.
Never mind, realizing they didn't check Rampart. Unfortunately for them, that it's just the scimitar here from memory. So we'll have to head into town. I believe the Bone Fist was right before the room It was definitely post
Yeah, the boat
all of the
fight.
fights on the Interceptor.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the boat fights. Yeah.
I think it
So
was in.
we'll need to get through.
Yeah.
Was it in Powder Store?
I think it was. I think it was in one of the box chests.
Mm-hmm. So might not even get to Halloween Town 2. Um,
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just depends on how they want to actually end the seed. Because I guess theoretically they could skip like scene 2 if they decide to pivot to
True.
the spooky. But it's like if you did all that dying on MCP, you had to be thinking about doing larks.
Something else. Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it is like still into spooky skipping Halloween Town. Maybe.
Potentially.
But I mean, they did Iggy too. I don't know. Maybe they don't know what they want to do. It's kind of hard.
Is one more hit away from getting into XP boost, so unfortunately not getting as much mileage as they might want. Yeah.
There it is.
There we go. And
Donald.
Don does get healed by Donald in the last instance. Still interesting to see, I think, whether or not Fish elects to reattempts the remainder of SP2. Arguably the more correct play, especially now that we have SCOM, so should be able to survive one of those lasers.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, now that I think about that, could really be opting just to say, like, yeah, I died too many times to this MCP guy, like, I'm just gonna take the other out. I mean, doesn't know that the Bone Fist is here, but
Yeah. We also are a little concerned that the pages could be on Sephi, so that might be part of something that might dissuade you. Oh, actually, but you have access to Spooky already.
yeah, you already got it because they did the STT play.
Yeah. True. I guess if we're doing Spooky, I would love to see Spooky sooner than later then. Is pushing through though.
Yeah, probably definitely hoping for this Bone Fist because they did already do Oogie, so that's literally just the chest is back
In
there.
Powder Store. Yes.
Oh.
It's sped through. Didn't check them.
Yeah, that's tough.
I think is now going to be pigeonholed into finishing Spooky into Larxene.
Yeah, we'll get the unfortunate information that the Bone Fist is not on this, but won't get the information that is behind them.
Mm-hmm.
This could. I mean, if they are in a situation where they're like, well, I don't want to do MCP right now, they could be now in a situation where they're probably. What are you gonna do?
Ooh,
Okay.
so going into Spooky first. This makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta use it to cool off a little bit. Does grab the extra magnet. And we'll go through Spooky Cave. Fortunately, we'll miss the illustrious 49. Alright. I wonder what fish would be wanting to see in Spooky Cave in terms of magics. Um,
Not many options left on the board.
it's
Maybe.
either the magics or Peter Pan, right? So, what would you like to see here? Maybe a fire? Help with the final fire strategy? Maybe a reflect? Unfortunately, it doesn't go for the high jump, aero dodge hover strats to prevent the bees. Appears to be just maybe going straight for. Is just quickly checking, just on the way. Potentially a little flustered here, understandably so. So long into the seed.
Yeah, being around 2 hours in and not being done can be a bit taxing on the mental.
We'll speak to Pooh to get their 9th objective. We'll see whether or not they go back in. Does get a fire. To clear out 100 acre. And appears to be returning to MCP. Instead,
Nope.
diverting out
So this is
to.
yep. So this is the result of
Okay.
not picking up that chest.
Bone fist.
Yep, because now they think they have to go to SP2, so now they're looking for the Royal Summons to try to get into SP2.
Oh, you mean HT2? Yes.
Yeah,
That is
SP2.
true.
Mhm.
But alternatively, could just go to Marluxia if that's the case.
I mean,
I do think that with a second chance, it's worth a shot retrying MCP though. Personally. Does get the other money pouch that's in the seed,
crazy.
just hanging out in corridors. Definitely isn't lacking for items. At least for Fish's point of view, if they're here for the Royal Summons, they will not need to go to Sephiroth. They'll just need to go at furthest to Peace Check. But they could just be in core. Yeah, / last chest of core. So there is the potential there with these settings having core on.
Core being on does make this an interesting little hunt here. See how nice or mean it actually is. Yeah, but they missed the.
They missed the Bone Fist that was just in Powder Store.
Yeah.
So yeah. So unfortunately for them, that they don't know that they do have access to Halloween Town too. Should they choose to turn around revisit Port Royal. But with chess matches visuals, you will be skipping a lot of the junk chess, so you wouldn't want to use the journal to check what you have or have not done. Goes into final form here. To make use of the final form magnets and reflects flush. And does make relatively quick work of that first core fight. He's going to get through the vowels using the final form. Just going to use some Keyblade combos. We'll see whether or not they choose to scale the wall using final, or if they just go around the longer way, choosing to go the longer way. So if you're going to make a prediction on the Royal Summons in Hollow Bastion, where do you think it's going to be, Tippy?
Peace check.
Peace check?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm going to put the second last chest of call. I don't think I've ever used this particular valve behind, to be honest.
Couldn't even tell you that I remember that this was his. I guess is that faster? I don't know. I don't feel faster.
Semi-faster?
Oh no, because you gotta come back down here for this. No.
Yeah.
So yeah.
If you had checked that beforehand, then with the camera, then I'd say this is fine.
Oh.
Oop, unfortunately gets pushed off by...
And missing that one.
Columns.
Yeah.
That goes for the valve in the back. Once more. Once again.
Magnet.
Does get a burst hidden away here in Hollow Bastion 2. Fortunately, missed the gap. Does put on a drive recovery here. Doesn't unfortunately get there with just the aerial dodge. Makes it this time.
Yeah, you want to get that magnet out of ASAP on these blue emeralds. Emerald blues is what they call it. One of the two.
Yes.
Whirly pearly earlies. That's what they are.
Does make use of that ripple drive to decimate in an AoE. Unfortunately, only has 4 drive left.
Throw a reflective.
Gets low again.
Now just throw a magnet. Just throw a magnet.
Goes into master form.
Just throw a magnet.
Gets through with the master form reflect. At the very least. But he's at 1 HP, so never mind. Gets healed by Donald.
Twice. Oh, because Donald's got items, so he's throwing the cure, giving himself an item, throwing the cure, giving himself an item. It's like, how did he just get cured again?
That makes sense. So still no sight of the Royal Summons yet. Does pick up the ability chest. Is Trinity?
Oh.
Thinks name is the chest.
No.
Is not in core, the Royal Summons. Is electing to go back? He's just a little puzzled here. Appears might. Looking at the race time now.
Potentially.
No.
I had fun, but DNF.
Okay. So that'll wrap us up. So that is a conclusion of this top 16 race between Dot Dot and Fish on a Stick, with Dot Dot prevailing, and we'll play the winner of Timbo and Dexus in the more common EU friendly time. What exact time is that for you?
What time is that match? Let me look at the schedule.
Unfortunately for everybody involved, I don't live in America, so I can't give you the American times.
We got Docs and Flash at 9:15 p.m. Eastern time. So in about 3 hours.
In about 3 hours? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So that will be our next matchup. And then much later on after that, I think about 9 hours after that, from what I understand, or something like that. 9+ hours. We'll then have our Timbo versus Dexus matchup. So I hope to see you then versus the Docs and Flash matchup. And until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for donating. And we'll see you then.
Yep. Everybody be safe.